Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about how to, solve for x from a word problem. Again, we're going to look at some scenarios that are going to require us to have some preliminary knowledge about what specific words mean. Okay, so let's take a look at the first problem. Out here, they're talking about the supplement of an angle, which is 10 times the measure of its complement. All right, so the first thing we need to understand is what is the supplement of an angle, and then what's the complement of an angle. So it's a geometry problem, so they're requiring you to know what a supplement means and what the complement means. Okay, so the supplement of an angle is if the angle is, so the easiest way to look at it is if you assume the angle is x degrees, then the supplement is 180 degrees minus x, okay? And the complement of the same angle is 90 degrees minus x, okay? So once you understand these two things, now setting up the problem is an easier situation. So it's saying that the supplement of an angle is 10 times the measure of its complement. Okay, the key out here is to understand that the word is really the equal to sign. Okay, so the supplement of the angle, so let's put it together, is 180 minus x is equal to saying 10 times the complement of the 10 times the measure of its complement. Okay, so we know that the complement is 90 minus x. Excuse me. So 10 times that is going to be 10. Put the 90 minus x in parentheses and put the 10 outside. Okay, now it comes down to solving uh, the equation. Okay, so let's take a look at how we solve this equation. So we'll just go ahead and keep the 180 minus x constant, distribute the 10 with the 90 and with the negative x. So that's going to be 900 minus 10x, right? And then I'm just going to combine like terms, so add 10x to both sides. Excuse me. So I get 9x, 180 plus 9x is equal to 900. All right, and then I'm going to subtract 180 from the left and the right. Gives me 9x is equal to 720 on the right. Okay, now if I divide both sides by 9, I get x is equal to 80. So x is equal to 80 degrees. Okay, so, and that's pretty much the problem. They're asking you to solve for x is 80 degrees. Again, if you take that x and you plug it into the initial equation, if the left equals the right, then you know that you did everything correctly. Okay, let's take a look at another problem. In this problem, the question requires you to find two consecutive odd integers such that when the lesser is added to twice the greater, the result is 24 more than the greater integer. Okay, so first of all, this is a mouthful, right? A lot of different terms, and we got to really understand what's happening out here. Okay, so let's think about what's an integer. An integer is any number. So let's say, for example, I have the number line. Let's say I have this number line goes from negative infinity to positive infinity, and I have 0 out here in the center. So we're looking at integers, which means all numbers, you can treat them as all whole numbers, not decimals, so nothing in between, just whole numbers, but they range from the negatives to the positives. Okay, so now if I kind of lay this out this way, we're looking for two consecutive. So we know what integer is. First of all, we know what the integers, then we're looking for odd integers. So the odd integers are going to be, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, right? And then you can keep going right or keep going left depending upon the need. So those are the odd integers. Now they're asking for consecutive. Consecutive simply means one after the other, right? Okay, so if it's coming one after the other, then if my first integer is -3, then the consecutive integer to this would be either -1 or -5, because those are the next ones in line, if you go left or go right. Okay, so if my first integer is 1, then the next integer, the consecutive odd integer is going to be 3 or -1. Okay, so now now that we understand that, now the question is saying, let's kind of dive a little deeper. When the lesser is added to twice the greater. Okay, so there is a lesser integer and a greater integer. Something happens. The result is 24 more when you do all that math, more than the greater integer. Okay, so we have to make a couple of different assumptions out here. Okay, so we have to assume that one of the integers is x. Okay, now let's think about this for a second. If the lesser integer is x, then the greater integer has got to be 2 more than x. Because see, if my lesser is -5, then the greater integer is going to be -5 plus 2, which is going to give me -3. If my lesser integer is 1, then the greater is going to be 1 plus 2, which is 3. So therefore, if my lesser is x, then the greater is going to be x plus 2. Okay, now that we understand this, now let's set it up. Okay, so the lesser is added to twice the greater, so 2 times x plus 2, that's twice the greater. The result, again we said the result is equal to 24 more. More means plus than the greater integer, so 24 plus x plus 2. There you have it. So once we have that, now we just have to solve for x. So x plus, distribute the 2 times x plus 4 is equal to 24 plus, assume there's a 1 out there, so that's x plus 2. Oops. There you go. Okay, let's combine the x's. So 3x plus 4 is equal to 24. Let's combine the 24 and the 2, so that's 26 plus x. Okay, now let's bring over the x from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. So that's 2x plus 4 is equal to 26. Okay, subtract 4 from both sides. So 2x is equal to 22. Divide both sides by 2. So x is equal to 11. Okay, so now remember, you cannot stop at 11 because it's saying you got to find 2 consecutive odd integers. So therefore, the smaller integer, 11, is the smaller one, right? Or the lesser. So therefore, the greater is going to be x plus 2, which is equal to 13. So the answer is going to be 11 and 13. All right. Okay, let's do another problem. Okay. This problem, Justin Sudak has grades of 94 and 88 on his first 2 math tests. What possible score on a third test will give him an average of 90? Okay, so what possible score on the third test? So let's assume that the score on the third test that he gets is x. Okay, so we're looking for an average out here. So all you have to do is add the 3 scores up, 94 plus 88 plus x. Divide them by 3, and that is going to give you the average of 90. Okay, once you know that, now all you have to do is solve. So let's multiply both sides with 3. When we do that, we get 94 plus 88 plus x is equal to 270. All right, and then if you add 94 and 88, you get 182 plus x is equal to 270. Again, subtract 182 from both sides, so you get 270 minus 182 is 88. Okay, so that's the score Justin needs to get on the third test to basically give an average of 90. Okay. Number one, I apologize for my dogs barking in the background, but I hope you understood what we went through, and thank you for watching. Talk to you guys later.